Alright YouTube, how's it going? First ever video I'm uploading from thesoutherntxpicker. I hope you guys enjoy. This is just going to be a recap of the items that I picked up this weekend. The footage from the actual sales should be uploaded here pretty soon. I don't really know because the tech that I have for it's kind of... So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and do the recaps on my phone and show you guys what I found. So alright, there's a local flea market around here that I go to quite often. They get daily stuff in, so it's pretty cool to find what they get in every day. And so one of the things that I picked up this weekend was these Coca-Cola musical boxes from 93 through 95, depending on the style. So see if we get that in there. Depending on the style, it'll actually show, you know, what year it is. So like this snowboarding one is from 95. The skating one is a little bit older. The skating polar bear is a year older, so it's from 94. And the oldest one that I have is the first one that came out in 93, which was the Santa Claus. I know that the comps on the snowboarding one right now, they're selling for about 17 bucks or so, 17.50. And the skating one I haven't checked out, but I'm guessing the older ones might be worth a few bucks more. Not really sure. She ended up giving me a good deal, and I am sad and I regret the fact that I didn't pick up all of them because she had like 2 more on the table. But I ended up getting 4 in total, 2 duplicates of this, and she ended up giving them to me for $2.50, which wasn't too bad. And along with that, she had this sitting next to it, so it's a 95 pair of sealed playing cards. And yeah, when I opened it up, because I wanted to make sure they are actually both in there and they are sealed. These are only going for like 10 bucks or so. They have that cool little thing on the back. So I figured I might throw it in with one of these things and make a deal out of it where the customer will end up saving a few bucks on this thing, you know. And like I said, it's brand new. They all have price tags from a place that I don't even think exists anymore. At that same place, there's a few vendors there. At that same place, I picked up this set of Lord of the Rings books. These do okay. They were 5 bucks, and the comps on them are showing like anywhere from like 12 to 15. So not really a great turnaround. So I was gonna hold on to them to put them with the set, and later on, I ended up finding these Percy Jackson books. So they're all pretty good condition. Only one of them has a really bad spinal damage, and it's not that bad, but I mean it's noticeable. These going, I believe the comps on them were about 15 to 20. So I'm thinking I can do the pair for about 20 bucks. I mean it's a perfect kids thing. I mean, pair them up like that, and then I mean talk about bed stories. VHS tapes do okay. There are a lot of people who want them still. And then Star Trek stuff does pretty well. So at that place I picked these up for 50 cents. The Next Generation, this one's episode 12. She had those, but apparently the only one that's actually worth a few more than, because these are all worth about 3 or 4 bucks. The only one that's worth a little bit more is the episode 5, because apparently that one's rare, and of course that's not in the set that I have. I picked up 10 of them, so obviously I paid about 5 bucks for all of them. I saw comps on them for about 3 or 4 bucks a piece, so I'm going to sell all 10 of them for probably about 20 bucks plus shipping. Throw that in the lot. At that same place, as a matter of fact, I also bought this Charlie Brown tape. Comps on these were going for about 10 bucks or so. I actually have some of this stuff already listed. So this one I have listed for, I want to say, I think I listed it for 9. But I'm pretty sure I'll end up dropping that price on that if it doesn't sell soon. But it's from 64, so... Sorry, 67. It's a vintage one. Oh, and by the way, yeah. Still in working order. It's crazy. This church rummage sale that I went to, I ended up getting a couple of books and other knickknacks. One really cool item that took me a while to find any information on at all. I mean, it was a good search. That I'll show you guys that. That was a really good one. Ended up picking up this Hobbit devotional thing, and I'm guessing it. I'm not guessing. I know it has to. It's a Bible thing. It's a church thing. So it's. I don't know if it's gonna have anything on it, but they only charge me 50 cents for it. So I might just throw it in with a lot of other books that I have. Speaking of books, I was able to pick up these kids' books. She gave them to me for 50 cents a piece. The Cat in the Hat, the 50th anniversary one. Dr. Seuss's One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. The Foot Book. And this cool looking Green Eggs and Ham. I don't think there's going to be too much value in these individually. So I'll end up selling them as a lot as well. Probably get another Dr. Seuss book, which I'm sure I have around here somewhere, and throw them all together for anywhere, probably 10, 15, 20 bucks somewhere in that area, depending on how much they're worth individually. I like to give discounts on them. If you were to buy them separately, you know, it costs you one thing, but if you buy them all together from me, cheaper price. Just good sound business. Another VHS tape, the Casablanca limited edition, special edition. All the tapes that I find, most of them are they're ready to play. You know what I mean? I don't have to rewind them. This one still had all the original stuff that came in the packaging too, which is pretty cool fun. And then the classic Gone with the Wind. VHS is ready to go as well. I still haven't looked up any comps, but I'm pretty sure this thing will probably bring in about 15 bucks or so. And luckily it'll ship as media, because this would be an awkwardly heavy, not heavy, but an awkward box. And we all know how shipping is with boxes. Alright. As a matter of fact, I got this guy right here too. These little guys. I got 4 of these little guys. Comps on these aren't too promising. They're selling about $8 a piece. I ended up listing these for $7.50 plus shipping, and I have 4 of them, so we'll see how those do. Something that I have on auction right now. It sold last month at auction for $45.88 with a good number of bids, and then right after that, somebody posted up a pair of these for $98.99, and they're still up right now if I'm not mistaken. And then somebody else posted up another one of these individually for $49.99. So we'll see how theirs sells. I have mine listed right now and at auction for $35 starting, and I already have 2 people watching, so, or maybe more by now. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be really cool. I picked this guy up for $1, and we'll see what this sells for. 1992 HBO special, Tales from the Crypt. This is probably gonna be the coolest item I sell out of this lot. Some of these items I did pick up this weekend. A lot of the stuff that I showed you guys, but a lot of the other stuff did come in from last weekend, but from the same places, so not too bad. The rummage sale that I went to yesterday, got little knickknacks and stuff. Picked up this thing. Now this is the item that I was talking about earlier that I searched and searched. It took a while. If you look on the back, it only has that, and it doesn't have anything else at the bottom. So after searching and searching, I finally found out they did have a sticker on this that told me what the JB stood for, because believe it or not, at the very bottom there's an initial. So that actually stood for James Beach, which is the maker of this. And this thing is from the 1840s. It is pretty crazy, actually. I don't have any comps on these. Texian campaign. The reason that they called it that is because this was during the war. Obviously, I mean, this thing is crazy. This thing is, like I said, from the 1800s. I did find one website that has this exact thing in its museum. Well, it's a museum that I contacted, and I ended up contacting them not too long ago and asking them if they actually know the value of this thing, because they had all the other information, when it was made, etc., etc. And in the 1900s, England started reproducing some of these. So on the back, right under this stamp, it will have the reproduction of England, so and so. And those are actually still worth money. They're just not worth as much as the originals. So this was actually just by luck that I picked this up. They had a price tag on it for $3. Everything that I've been seeing from this company is selling at least $100 or more. The England reproduction stuff, that sells too, but you need to have sets of those in order to make a good sale from what I saw. This one by itself, it might actually sell pretty well. I'll update you guys on this one, because this one actually by chance picked it up, and turns out it's actually from the 1800s, and I'm handling it pretty. I should be a little bit more careful with these. Well, with that one, this sealed PC game, The Incredibles, or Print Studio. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked out comps on any of this stuff right here. I've been busy listing other things. Sims Ant. I guess you could play as an ant at one point. 90s, late 90s stuff. Sim City. This one says for Windows 95 or 98. So to give you an idea on how old those are. Vintage video games, they do pretty well. Sealed vintage video games do even better because they're still sealed. So while this might not be a video game, it's actually something to your own suit. It's broken. The actual thing is broken. The cool thing about these though is that it's the artwork that matters. So when it comes to this, you might not have the original case, but if you were to take all the artwork out and throw it in another CD case, still be the same thing. Alrighty guys, I have some other items that I already have listed on my eBay, which I will go ahead and put in the description box below, and I'm going to keep these videos up as I go along every weekend. I appreciate any and all support. Please hit the like button, subscribe whenever you feel like it. More content coming up next week, so keep that in mind. I might actually put up a couple of videos in between that time, depending on situation, circumstances. So thank you guys. Over and out from Southern Texas Picker.